The Gatchalian and Cayetano blocs fight for control of the Senate. The group, led by Acting Senate President Win Gatchalian, invokes the Avellino Doctrine of 1949 to validate the leadership change on June 3. The Cayetano bloc proceeds with its Blue Ribbon Committee hearing with alleged retired soldiers implicating several lawmakers. Video shows Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla appearing to block the purported retired soldiers as they were entering the Senate. Senate reporters say Senator Rodante Marcoleta's claim they received bribes is dangerous, irresponsible, and reckless. And the Philippines loses its bid for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. It's a day after the 12-person new majority installed Win Gatchalian as Senate President pro tempore and Acting Senate President. But Gatchalian's bloc and Alan Peter Cayetano's camp are still fighting for control of the upper chamber. In a press conference Thursday, June 4, Gatchalian explains the legal justification to hold the session with 12 senators on Wednesday.
From 1949 to now, in Avellino case is the only Supreme Court case related to quorum. Wala nang iba. No? So until now, ginagamit pa rin yan in cases of determining quorum. The most important is quorum. And quorum needs numbers. No? We have 12, they have 10. No? And the minimum number for quorum is 12. So all the proceedings are in full view of the public and compliant with our Constitution.
He earlier ordered Senate staff to work from home Thursday to ensure peace and order in the chamber. But also on Wednesday night, Cayetano sent a memo to Senate staff saying all previously scheduled hearings will proceed, including the Blue Ribbon Committee hearing to be led by his sister Pia. The Senate website shows the Blue Ribbon Committee hearing has been cancelled. But the proceedings continued where Cayetano insists he's still Senate President.
The reality is, I was elected by 13. The Constitution, the Senate rule says, hindi ka pwedeng palitan kung hindi 13. So wala silang 13, so wala silang quorum. Kahit anong i-invento nila sa kanilang justification, hindi totoo yun.
Gatchalian says the new leadership has been recognized by the House of Representatives and by Malacanang.
Nakita nyo naman, in-affirm ni Speaker Bojidi. After that, Malacanang rin in-affirm in proceedings yesterday. At sabi nga ng Malacanang, if I can borrow the words, legal in proceedings.
What's the legal precedent for the quorum of 12 reached by the Gatchalian bloc with Senator Chis Escudero? The group led by Acting Senate President Win Gatchalian invokes the Avellino Doctrine of 1949 to validate the leadership change. With Senator Bato de la Rosa in hiding and Senator Jinggoy Estrada in detention, the Gatchalian group argue the two are beyond the Senate's coercive jurisdiction. In 1949, a landmark Supreme Court ruling was triggered by the walkout of then Senate President Jose Avellino and his allies during a Senate session. The remaining 12 senators declared the Senate presidency vacant and designated then-Senator Mariano Cuenco to the post. The SC declared the quorum of 12 was valid and explained the walkout of 10 senators cannot prevent the other 12 from passing a resolution. Wednesday's Senate shakeup is not the first in recent history to invoke the Avellino Doctrine. A similar case happened in 2015 with 4 senators overseas and 3 detained. Then Senate President Franklin Drilon led the chamber in declaring its working membership was down to 17 and established a quorum of 12.
That leaves us with 17 available senators, out of which 12 are in the session hall, and answer the roll call. The chair therefore declares the presence of the quorum for the other.
In an interview with Ces Drilon on One News, Franklin Drilon says he considers the position of Senate President vacant after the leadership shakeup. He also commends the resolution of the impasse, saying it is already affecting public interest. He adds, those questioning the validity of the Gatchalian majority can go to the courts, but until then, there is a presumption of regularity. The Cayetano bloc pushes through with its Blue Ribbon Committee hearing with self-proclaimed retired soldiers. Allegedly once employed by former Congressman Zaldico, the 18 men say President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and former House Speaker Martin Romualdez and other officials received suitcases filled with cash. The purported ex-soldiers also implicate several House lawmakers, including Congresswoman Laila De Lima and members of the Makabayan bloc in their allegations. But De Lima did not assume office until mid-2025. 2 of the so-called retired Marines even alleged Senators Tito Soto and Erwin Tulfo received kickbacks. Soto was not in public office from 2022 to mid-2025. Tulfo was a congressman for ICYMI party list at the time. In a phone call with reporters, Tulfo denies the allegations, calling the claim against him a blatant lie and the hearing a sham.
They're saying that this is payment for flood control. Wala naman akong allocables, di ba? Sa GAA, wala din ang pangalan ko dahil hindi naman talaga ako nakakuha any project.
The so-called hearing was not streamed by the Senate and was not on record, but media organizations were allowed to cover the event attended by 6 senators from the Cayetano bloc. Video shows Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla appearing to block 18 alleged former Marines as they were entering the Senate Thursday, June 4. This as Senators Pia Cayetano and Robin Padilla were fetching the men from the building entrance to bring them to the Blue Ribbon Committee hearing on flood control corruption.
Nagulat lang ako kasi maayos naman. Sabi ko dun sa ating resource person, halika na, sinusundo ko kayo, let's go in. Nagulat na lang ako na nakita ko dun si Secretary John Vic Remulla, tinaharang ako. I never thought the day would come that somebody would prevent me from entering the Senate. This is my office. This is the Senate. This is the halls of democracy.
Remulla denies he was trying to prevent the alleged former soldiers from attending the proceedings. He says he was caught off guard by the large group and had adopted a defensive stance. He says he was at the Senate to ensure peace between opposing rallyists outside the building and to speak with Acting Senate President Sherwin Gatchalian about securing the area.
Diba? Walang police dito. I was alone. I came here alone. I was almost trampled upon. Tingnan lang, lakas-lakas pa katawan ko, kinaya ko naman.
Cayetano says she had to personally collect her resource persons from the entrance because Senate staff were holding them. All this due to confusion from the tug-of-war between the Senate's opposing factions as Cayetano and her allies cling to their posts despite the leadership change. Journalists covering the Senate slammed Senator Rodante Marcoleta for saying they received bribes from the camp of Acting Senate President Gatchalian. The reporters say this was a, quote, irresponsible and reckless attack. Marcoleta calls them, quote, paid hacks and alleges reporters failed to question the move of Gatchalian's camp to cancel the Blue Ribbon Committee hearing Thursday, June 4. But journalists did question Gatchalian on the postponed Senate probe. In a joint statement, the Senate reporters condemned the claims of Marcoleta. It reads, at a time when disinformation and political polarization continue to undermine public discourse, government officials should exercise greater restraint and responsibility in their pronouncements. In a press conference with Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, Marcoleta explains his beef with the media. He says he was not quoted by broadsheets and reports despite a long speech he gave during an Iglesia ni Cristo rally in Luneta.
I was using the example in the rally of the ILC last July 13 yata, yung 2025. It was a 2 million crowd gathered in Luneta. Rally ng INC yun, and I am one of the 4 speakers. So 11 reporters saw it. 11 reporters heard it. Alam niyo, wala man akong pangalan doon. Kahit na yung acronym lang ng pangalan ko, alam mo, may naglagay. Narinig namin si RTN. Baka sakaling tanggapin ko na po yun.
Marcoleta eventually takes back his accusation.
So pasensya na po kung ako'y nakapagsalita ng gano'n. I did not mean it.
The Philippines loses its bid for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council Wednesday, June 3 or early Thursday, Manila time. At the end of 4 rounds of secret balloting, the Philippines received only 49 votes, while rival Kyrgyzstan garnered 142 votes. Only the 2 countries were vying for the sole vacant seat for the Asia-Pacific region. The UN Security Council is considered the most powerful body in the UN. To win a seat, a member must secure at least 2/3 of the votes from those present during the session or 128 votes during the 4th round. In a statement released after voting concluded, Philippine Foreign Secretary Maria Teresa Lazaro congratulates the Kyrgyz Republic. This is the first time the Philippines lost a bid for the UNSC. It sat on the UNSC in 2004, 1980, 1963, and 1957. This is also the first time Kyrgyzstan will sit on the council. Its term will begin on January 1, 2027 and end on December 31, 2028. Some analysts and UN observers see the race in the context of the superpower competition between Washington and Beijing. The Philippines is a treaty ally of the United States, while Kyrgyzstan has close trade and security ties with China. And that's today's wrap. I'm JC Gotinga. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. For more updates, download the Rappler app.